Hello, this is Horror Studio 1, and this is my unedited podcast. Hi guys, this is Horror Studio 1 coming to you from Sedona, Arizona. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm actually from Canada. So right now I am in the States, where most of you guys are. The topic that we're going to talk about today is something I've anticipated for a very, very long time. And, I basically came here for a birthday trip to experience what I'm about to tell you guys. It was really sick. I just did it yesterday around the afternoon time. Is what is known as a Vortex tour. Now, for those individuals who don't know what a Vortex tour is, let's go back to the narrative. Let's go back to why I'm here. So basically, as you guys know, I've always been really interested in the paranormal, and Arizona is one of the most paranormal induced states out there, as opposed to spiritual energies, coming in contact with otherworldly beings, UFOs, all that kind of stuff. I told you guys in a podcast earlier, I think it was my last one, I was planning to come here and experience what I just experienced. And I'm about to go on another tour for looking at UFOs very shortly, so that is coming up as well. I will update you guys on that probably in another podcast or another video in the upcoming days. But what I'm about to tell you guys is today is not really UFO related, but it does have to do with the spiritual energies within yourselves, which is known as the Vortex tour. It is basically a spiritual healing process, and kind of guided meditation, if you will. So what this entailed, really, I'll give a personal experience. I'll tell you guys what I experienced first, and then I'll give you guys a proper definition of what this thing actually is. So if you guys want to go check it out, you guys want to do it yourselves, you guys will have the opportunity to go and do that. So basically what this is I basically I was staying here in Sedona, and then I went out to like a psychic shop to look for UFOs. Like I wanted to go on a UFO tour and stuff like that, but I was introduced to something called the Vortex tour, in which it is like believed to be a Native American practice in which you go to places in Arizona, possibly up in the mountains high up, where there's portals of spiritual energy, where you go and you take like a leap, or like you transcend yourself spiritually, and you gain something from that. So that is basically what a Vortex tour is. You're guided through that kind of meditation where you spiritually can open doors for yourself, including more powers that you have within yourselves. Some people can develop special powers from this. Some people can be more in tune with their spirituality, with their unconscious mind, better able to make decisions, better knowing of oneself. So it's all just beneficial stuff. And this is stuff that the Native Americans have been practicing for many, many years prior to this. Okay, and I actually didn't really know about this before coming here, but I was really interested. I was hooked in this whole thing. I was, why not give it a try? So I decided to go give it a try with a friend of mine. We went with a guide out into the mountains. It was this guide was like a Native American guide, a very typical Native American looking guy, and he's been doing this for a long time. He's guided many people through this journey. So we basically hiked through the mountains. Our first thing we did was that we had to kind of get the fear and the conscious rational thinking. We had to settle that down first. Now that was a problem for me personally, because I tend to think a lot about a lot of things, and I tend to be skeptical. I tend to be afraid. I tend to not trust, I guess. And the guide said it was actually normal, because if you look at males and females, males are more it's harder for them to actually get into the state for spiritual healing, because their conscious rational mind is so much more active. As in the female is more like their more feminine side. They have that more sentimental side, which is easier for them to get into the state. So personally, I had a hard time. We did 2 sessions basically in a span of about 3 hours or so. In the woods and in the mountains. We drove up into the Arizona mountains, and we went to a river first, where we're supposed to lie down flat on our backs, and we were supposed to listen to drums and sounds of the wild, of the flowing river, of the nature, and also of flutes and stuff like that, where a guide would guide us into this spiritual kind of zone kind of thing, get us into the zone with also his words and his speeches as well. Personally, I felt my body resisting it and fighting it, so I couldn't really get into state. I was extremely disappointed, but one thing that my guide did for me was that he took all my anxiety, all my overactive imagination, all that thinking that I usually have in my day-to-day life, all the insecurities, and he like slapped me. He didn't like beat the shit out of me, but like he took it and he physically got it out of me kind of thing. And then the second session that we did, we actually had to go up to a mountaintop, and what was explained to us is that in the mountains there are vortexes that are really powerful, as in all the energies from the earth and the nature, they all kind of go up. So they would go up the mountains, especially if it's like red rock mountains like they do have in Arizona, where there are no trees blocking those types of energies, and you're at the pinnacle of the mountain and you're at that point, those energies all come rushing up towards yourself. So that's where we hiked up to. It was, a treacherous hike, but we ended up there. And then we sat down looking out into the distance as the sun was setting, and we closed our eyes listening to the flute. And that is when I actually got into the zone. I felt like, for me personally, I've done these kind of meditations in the past. I used to try to do like 20 minutes meditation a day. I gave that up. I don't know why. I guess just too busy making videos. But for me, it's really hard. It's really hard because when I was a kid, I had ADD. And I myself am a very energetic person as well. So for me to calm down physically is hard. If I want to calm down my thoughts is even more difficult for me. If you had to calm down both things and not fall asleep and not be in a sleeping state, that is what's really important. Like, you have to be, the thing with meditation is that you got to be in your unconscious mind, but you cannot be asleep. So you got to be aware and not fully aware at the same time. Like, the explanation that I learned is that your mind, your brain is like a vehicle, and yourself, your soul is something completely different. You have to let your mind go. You have to turn that off and let yourself be fully present for you to meditate and be able to reach that unconscious state. I was able to do that, and it was so weird too. Like, it's just a crazy experience. After I did that and I calmed down and I listened to the words and I didn't overthink, I wasn't skeptical. I wasn't thinking that maybe this guy that I'm in the mountains with some dude who could kill me and my friend. Like, he could totally just grab a knife and stab me to death. Like, I had those thoughts. I'll be honest. Like, it's like a total stranger. Like, you don't know who they are, right? So you have thoughts, you have doubts about this whole situation, about, is this really working? Like, do I want to laugh at this? Like, what am I doing? Like, oh my God, I'm a kid from a city. Like, why am I doing this? And then I really let all of that go, and in the end, it was like Jesus. Like, I felt it. I felt myself being present to the moment. Like, I could feel energies. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I could feel it. And then as the session itself was ending, I felt like a gust of wind just like charging towards my face, and I was so afraid, actually. I heard it because my eyes were closed, but I heard it. It sounded like the ocean coming towards me. But I knew it was just like, I wanted to open my eyes because I was so afraid, but I knew it was just wind. It was just this incredible wind. But it was so amazing because the point that we were at, there were no sounds at all for the longest time. There were no sounds of animals. There was just complete silence, and we were supposed to take that all in. But as the session was ending, there was this crazy wind, and I could hear the beasts from the wild. I'm not even kidding. Like, the animals, they all just started making so many sounds, and the wind was coming at me. And as the session ended, the guide finished his tour, his journey, all that just suddenly stopped, and we reversed back to, well, just reality, I guess, the dead of the afternoon. So I don't know what that was. I mean, come on, I've been doing this YouTube thing for a long time. I read all these stories. I believe in, that there's another world beyond ours, but to actually feel that firsthand in kind of a healing way, and not like a scary paranormal way, was really, it was really great to me. And I urge that if you guys are listening to my YouTube channel, you guys are interested in this kind of stuff, go check it out. I suggest coming to places like here, where there are actually energies and places that are great, where you can use that instead of just going to your local people in your local town. Not saying they're not good, but I would just go for the best places to get the best experience. I don't know, like I was just the last gust of wind, like that wasn't a coincidence. Like that was like it was like he summoned the wind to make that last final punch kind of thing. So yeah, you guys can definitely go check it out. That was my experience with it. I mean, I don't have a lot of paranormal experiences, but that was one of the ones that I cannot explain. With, you know, how can you explain that exact moment? I felt like I was in a different zone, different world because of that. And it was, I mean, even if you believe in paranormal or not, I feel like it's a good experience to have. If you're like not sure what you want to do in your career, in your path, or that you have some pain, like mental pain, I feel like this kind of stuff can keep your mind at ease and at a calm, and it's really helpful for that. So before I go, I'll have like a real definition of what a vortex door is. A vortex is believed, again on the website, is believed to be a special spot on Earth where energy is either entering into the Earth or projecting out of the Earth's plane. Vortexes are found at sacred sites throughout the world: the Great Pyramid in Egypt, Machu Picchu in Peru, Bali, Stonehenge. It's believed that the vortex energies moves in a spiral, moving up or down. Now, how can vortex energy help you? Some say Sonoda's vortex energy is so powerful that you can actually feel it, and that it is powerful enough to help people take giant leaps in their spiritual development. The Native Americans believe that spiritual transformation can occur more quickly and easily in Sedona because the veils of other dimensions are thinner there. Whether or not you believe that energy vortexes actually exist, one thing is for certain: there is something about Sedona that has made people travel here for something more than just its incredible beauty. Yeah, so go check it out. These things up in the mountains. If you guys are interested, read on it. It's an interesting thing. And yeah, I'm about to go look at some aliens later tonight. It's my birthday, so yeah, hopefully that turns out well. I'll keep you guys updated, take some pictures, and do kind of stuff. So anyways, yeah, that's it for today. Just wanted to share my thoughts and show you guys something incredible. Go check it out. Go do some research on it if you guys are interested. And yeah, I hope to speak to you guys soon with another one of these awesome podcast videos. Bye.